On this episode, we're drilling to install an O2 sensor on our already ceramic coated exhaust. So if you think back a long time ago, I had these pipes. I had this was all, it all looks similar to what it looks like just now. And I welded everything together, got it fitted just the way I want it. And then I took it out to powder coat it at New Era powder coating. In my haste and whatever else you want to call it, I didn't add O2 bung. Running fuel injection, need O2 bung. Even if I wasn't running fuel injection, I'd still want to add an O2 bung so I could add an AFR, so I could dial in the carburetor jets, but you know, I didn't. The people over at Holley, they understand my haste. This is part of their kit. They designed this Holley Sniper mostly as a retrofit to a carbureted engine, so when you're adding it on, you're not going to have a O2 bung. All you really got to do is drill a hole. This is your gasket, this is your clamp base, and then this goes around the pipe. Oh, don't drop it on the car. Don't. And then this is going to clamp to your pipe. So this specific one is for 2 3/8 to 2 3/4 diameter. It will fit. If you were running a smaller diameter pipe, you're just going to need different clamps, but you're fine. So that's the way they designed it. That's the way I'm going to do it, because I'm not grinding and welding on the powder coating. So when this engine was built, it was tested on the dyno. They used all of my equipment during their testing, so it's brand new. It's only been used for tuning, because the entire Sniper is supposed to be tuned to this motor at the builder when it was built, so I don't have to do any programming or anything, right? Hopefully. We need about a 15 millimeter hole, or yeah, 5/8 inch hole to insert our O2 sensor in. Now the only thing about the O2 sensor is moisture is its enemy, and things that sit around a lot, moisture is going to collect inside the exhaust. Don't put it on the bottom, right? Put it on the top. If you have to put it on close to the bottom, you could put it on the side over here, but since there's no cab, I'm fine. This is our O2 lead, so I mean, you could go back pretty far on the exhaust for ease of mounting application purposes. For my purpose, it's going to go right here. Does it matter? Does the distance away from the motor matter? No, not really. You're talking from over here to back here is milliseconds of information delay going back to the brain of the Sniper system. So it's not going to affect it. The distance away from the ECU is not going to affect the way the motor runs, because, you know. But for ease of wiring purposes, you could put it pretty much wherever you want. This is just depth gauge, so I know I made it to 5/8. It's hot, and I'm fixing to stick my finger in there. So some of you may have some thoughts about the shavings that went into the pipe. So don't be too concerned about those. Those are going to blow out when we turn the engine on. This has to come loose anyway because I got to replace these bolts and nuts. These are not locking nuts, and these bolts are slightly too short. And I want to do that before I put the cab on, so that means I need to go to the store. I should write that down. I'll remember when I edit this video. Okay, it's fine. So next, what we want to do is get our clamps on there. So this is like an exhaust gasket for the exhaust. And it lines up on this doojab. And then we're going to put it on there. And it's going to clamp around. Like this. So what I want to do is bring so the 1/2 inch extension is 5/8 diameter, 15 millimeter. And then some anti-seize, put some anti-seize on it. It has a washer that makes the seal. The anti-seize is so you can take it off again, even though this type wouldn't be that difficult, but still don't make it more difficult than it has to be. So that's it. Now we're done. It's installed. Did you see where I put my orange cutters? I see them. Never mind. I'm not really ready to start zip tying, but I probably should be. This is going to come around over here to here. This goes inside cab, inside. This is from the computer display. This is wiring harness stuff. And then this, I can loop around a couple times like so, I think. One. Let's take it loose, I think. I think you get the idea.